I manage the transmission, distribution, substation procurement groups, and we're really responsible for all of the sourcing, negotiations, and contracts with our material and service suppliers within the company. We buy typically Douglas fir, we get southern yellow pine. So the only thing that's really changed over the years is the treatment and what we treat the poles with to preserve them and create that longer life. So we sourced these poles in 2018. We went out to find the most competitive price we could get from a wood pole supplier. What we found through that process was Stella was really going to be the one supplier that could provide us the transmission poles and the distribution poles that we need. And so that, along with them being on property to help us deliver those poles and taking them to be reused for other situations, increase the sustainability within the categories. Every time they cut a tree, they do replace that tree and replant as they go through that process. We really saw a lot of value in that. With the increased demand in the industry, there's a shortage of poles. And so I've had peer utilities calling asking, how are you getting poles? We can't get any. And here we are having an excess of poles, you know. It's a good feeling when you know you're doing something right because we're getting some poles in here.
My group has responsibility for materials for transmission, distribution, and substation throughout the entire Evergy territory. Well, with all the material, poles included, we'd like to look out as far as possible, obviously. 2 years would be great. Between the supply chain planning group and the operations planning folks, whether it be project planning or just looking at historical usage, we're able to give Stella Jones, our partner supplier, some information that gives them an idea of what we'll be looking for and how to keep their yards stocked. They have yards at Tecumseh, Benton, and Front Street. It's able to give us faster response times. We also have a program through Stella Jones where they will pick up the used poles, and that goes through a recycling process through them. We work with either Stella to get them delivered to the service centers for our inventory replenishment, or if we need job site deliveries, Stella will also help us with that, depending on the size of the job and the size of the poles. We also have the capabilities internally to use our own pole trucks to make deliveries as well.
I told you, man, I do more of the contract. That's why I was like, well, I don't know what I'm going to talk about.
As painful as it was going to be, huh?
I mean, it kind of is.